Pat, Republicans in Congress have introduced two bills to change what's called the Johnson Amendment. That's the amendment that restricts political speech from churches and other nonprofit organizations. Our Abigail Robertson explains in this story from Washington.
House GOP members are wasting no time trying to help fulfill one of President Trump's biggest campaign promises to evangelicals, repealing the Johnson Amendment. One bill calls for its full repeal, but another just amends it to restore free speech to charities and houses of worship. Opponents of the Johnson Amendment argue it allows the IRS to bully and intimidate churches. Pastors who've been targeted by the law came to D.C. to share their stories. Houston pastor Hernan Castano says the city's lesbian mayor had his sermons and text messages subpoenaed because of his outspoken stance on issues like gay marriage. Castano was given a short period of time to turn them in, or he would face imprisonment.
It caused a lot of stress on the church members, a lot of questioning, and other pastors just fled in fear because obviously they couldn't believe this was happening in America.
Pastor Castano says the law causes a lot of confusion for clergy, and many do not understand why sharing their interpretation of scriptures could lead to fines or removal of tax-exempt status.
Talking to many pastors, I've seen the intimidation, the fear, and how they would not speak out because they don't want to lose their 501c3 status.
He says each year around election time, warnings and threats are sent to the church, citing the Johnson Amendment.
Everyone should have their full freedom of speech, not partial freedom of speech, which is what we're really happening right now in the pulpits of America.
Congressman Heiss and Senator Lankford agree, which is why they introduced legislation in both sides of the House to protect these pastors.
The Free Speech Fairness Act, just as it says, protects those free rights and enables pastors and so forth to deal with political issues without fear of intimidation or retaliation from our government.
Supporters of the Johnson Amendment argue a repeal would allow churches to turn into super PACs. But this bill prohibits nonprofits from contributing to political activities or candidates.
I'm trying to work on within the Senate with Republicans and Democrats alike to say, how can you be opposed to free speech? Now, I understand that there are some individuals that don't like it when churches speak out, but quite frankly, there are churches on the left and on the right politically that they should have the right. We as Americans shouldn't limit speech.
Lawmakers have high hopes 2017 will be the year it goes. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.